Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys have had a fantastic week and that your weekend has started well as well. Now, what I'm going to do is, in the edit after this video, because you can do that on live streams on YouTube, I'm going to take out all of the first section where I think for some reason, I don't know why the microphone wasn't working, but I just reset everything, started up again while a video was playing. But people watching this in the future will be totally unaware of anything that's happened. So let me go through everything that I've just previously been through, saying hi to you guys. Let me get you up on screen in the live chat room. And we have Nancy and Stan and Bev and JSKit92380, Richard, Brooke, Jennifer, John, Jason, and Karen's in there, Paula and Mike and Chris and Corey and Shawnee Key. Hello. Thank you for joining me tonight and for sticking with the audio problems, but luckily this is the good thing about having a few videos that I can play. It means I can play a video and troubleshoot and sort everything out, or hopefully sort everything out. But it seems like we just sidestepped that gremlin for tonight. Hopefully there's no more as we continue. So let me also get the likes goal up on screen, because it is a huge one tonight. 295, I do believe. So we're looking for every single thumbs up that we can get. And it is a huge target. Let's see where we are at the moment. We are at 134. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up so far. If you haven't done that yet, if you could, it'd be much appreciated, because we will see how far we get. If we get close to that target, it is a big one for tonight, but hopefully we can. Right. Let me just mention something that I mentioned before when you couldn't hear me, was about, yes, somebody was asking if I had my hair cut, and yes, I did have my hair cut this week, and I was supposed to have it cut on Wednesday, but it was a bit of a nightmare because my hairdresser didn't turn up, so it meant I was just waiting around for 2 hours, and then I had my hair cut on Thursday, which meant that I then lost 2 hours from my day, and it put me behind with everything. But I did have my hair cut, and the haircut news is that I didn't have it layered quite as much on the sides, so I think the sides are going to get a little bit bigger, but hopefully not too much. But that is it for hair news tonight. In terms of the live stream tonight, we are going to be having our pick roulette later on, because we reached the target last week for our likes goal that we're aiming for 295 tonight, as I've said. But we pretty much have got the normal kind of thing going on. I think tonight, in terms of the cover video, I did ask over on Patreon, but it's just been a bit of a whitewash for Give Me All Your Lovin', and that's understandable considering recent events and the video that I made last night. So we'll be looking at that for the cover tonight. Thank you guys for requesting that over on Patreon. And I've started a vote for, because we're not having a vote on the cover, because that's already been decided, I've started a vote for the cartoon to take a look at tonight. So there's going to be 4 real life story cartoons that you guys can be voting on. And we will jump into that later on. And I think it was Karen who requested a cartoon over on Patreon. So you guys can vote for that. Let's have a little look at that vote. It looks like the library gig is ahead, I think, at 31%. So that might be the one that Karen requested as well. I can't remember, but it does ring a bell. So keep on voting for the cartoons. And I think it's about time we got the patrons' names up on screen, because they make this all possible. And a massive shout out to these guys who go along the bottom of the screen throughout the live streams. You know who you are. They do pop up in the donation windows as well. So thank you guys for all of your support over on Patreon, but also during these live streams. And let me get the PayPal donations window up on screen, the percentages as well, so that you have a lay of the land, so you know where your donations go. And also, let me just get that up on screen as well, because I'm going to jump into the Super Chat window first. And I know that there was a donation before we went live, and that was from Ginny. So thank you for that, Ginny, and it was for $7. And the message was, Phil, in this day of Twitter, Facebook, etc., how do artists sell their songs to someone? Thanks, stay cool. So thank you for that, Ginny. And it depends. I'll answer this from a couple of angles. So in terms of selling your songs or your music to people, as an independent artist myself, I have my album and all of my songs on my website, wingsofpegasus.com, and people can order on their physical copies of the CD, which I have here. I order them in bulk and then send them off for all of the orders that come in. And they're also available to download on my website. So some people don't get a physical copy, they buy the digital copy of it, and other people just download particular songs that they want. And I also have the digital copies on Amazon and iTunes. But when you have your music on third-party sites, that third-party site takes a percentage of each of your sales. So that's why I always say that it's better for me if you go to wingsofpegasus.com, because I own the website, so I only have to give myself a percentage to myself, which is a lot better than giving it out to other people. So that's how you do it if you're an original artist and an independent artist trying to sell your music. Just set up your own site, and there's lots of different site engines that you can use, or site companies where you just subscribe for about £20 a month, something like that. I think it's I go through Bandzoogle. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but it's around that kind of area, so maybe $30 or $40 a month. And for that, you just get to host your own website and put everything that you want on there. And yeah, you don't have to give away a percentage. You're just paying for your website and the domain name pretty much. So yeah, that's kind of the easiest way to do it, I think. If you haven't got your own website, then it's really difficult to, it means that you're potentially always going to be giving away a percentage because you're not hosting it yourself. So I would say get your own website. That definitely helps. And if you are a songwriter, it's going to be a similar kind of thing. I think that having your own website and somewhere where you can refer people to when you say that you're a songwriter and you get in touch with people and trying to get your songs out there as much as possible and try and get them picked up by artists and producers and all that kind of stuff. It's great to just have one location where you can link them to and they can actually listen to all of your music. And it could even be a page that isn't public. If you don't want to give away your music for free, then you can just have a particular private page on your website that you have the address to that you can share with other producers and artists in order to show off your songs. And that's just a way of doing it in order to keep everything under control. I know that as soon as things are out there for free on the internet, people just download them and then there's no real incentive for them to buy them. So then eventually you end up not being able to do music ever because you're not making any money because you're giving away all your music for free. And I think a lot of artists struggle with that gap, bridging the gap between recording and hosting your music and making it into a product that people buy. Because that's how the world works, especially when I know myself, having spent about 6 to 8 months in this room on my album, playing the guitar, playing bass, getting everything down and mixing it myself as well, producing it myself. It was between 6 and 8 months of every single day coming in here and doing it for multiple hours at a time. So then once I'd finished the album, if I was then just going to give away the songs for free, it means that for 6 to 8 months, I've spent all of that time just doing something that I'm not getting any money for or any payback for. So then if I want to do anything in the future, I'm never going to be able to do it because I'm just working to a massive loss. It's almost like having a full-time job for 6 to 8 months and not getting paid for it. And then once you've finished your product, you give it out to everyone and they say, oh, thanks. And you don't get anything back for it, so you can't go into the future. This is the thing that a lot of musicians fail to make that link between. They're creative by nature, and that's kind of the flaw, is that it's getting out of your creative mind into your analytical mind or your business mind, or if you haven't got a business mind like me, you have to learn how to do it and just read up everything that you can. And once you have done your creation, you then have to approach it from what a company or a record company would do for you. You have to play the part of a record company, and a record company would not give away something that they've worked on for about 8 months for free. They would charge $9.99 for an album. So you've got to, just weigh it up and be sensible about it, because those sales then allow you to continue. If you make money from what you've just spent that amount of time doing, it means that in the future you can keep on creating. And that's fortunately where I am at the moment, thanks to all of your support on these live streams and your patronage over on patreon.com, these guys at the bottom of the screen. All of your support means that I can keep on going forward. And as I'm sure you guys have noticed, I haven't stopped doing these live streams in about 3 years. So on a Tuesday and a Saturday, I'm constantly here because I'm getting constant support and selling my album constantly through my website, and people are downloading it as well. So there's that constant stream that allows you to keep moving forward. And I've said many times on the channel about the fact that when something goes wrong and something stops working, I've got the ability to replace whatever is broken because of the support that's already in place, and because of my album sales and everything that I'm selling through my website and the merchandise as well. It all goes under that same heading of the business side of things, just keeping everything moving forward. So I think a lot of people, they make their product, get their album out there, get it sounding great, release it, and they just release it for free. And they end up having to go back to their day job and give up music altogether because they haven't worked out that if you give away a product, then it is, the worst business model in the world. Businesses don't give away stuff for free. And this is why I took my music off Spotify, because they're one of those companies that they can afford to give away music for free because they didn't make the music. People are just uploading it. So I've spent like 8 months on an album, I uploaded it to Spotify, and then they give it away to people for free, and I make 0.0000001 pence for every stream. And I've mentioned before about the fact that I got 16,000 streams on That's Metal, and I made £11 or £12. So I thought it's better for me to just host my album on my site, and then all I need to do is sell one album, and I've pretty much covered 16,000 streams on Spotify. So that's why I took my music off there, because they can give it away for free because it doesn't affect them. They're just getting people onto their website, but I've done the work in order for them to share it for free. So that's why when people say, oh, is your music on Spotify? I don't have it on Spotify. I just make sure that I at least make a little bit of money if people are downloading and streaming my music, so that I can keep on moving forward rather than, just having to grind to a halt. But anyway, a long answer there. Apologies for that, but thank you, Ginny, for that question. And it is always complicated when we start talking about the music industry and I guess marketing side of things, business, and trying to bridge the gap for musicians. It's complicated, and this is why it's so difficult to bridge that gap for so many musicians, because they are creators, they're not business people, they're not marketing experts. So it's something that you have to do a lot of looking into and just try and figure it out for yourself, the best way for you personally to make it sustainable, what you're doing. That is just the key word. It's got to be sustainable, otherwise you just finish, and then everyone gets depressed because you can't continue moving forward, and everyone who likes your music just sit there and you don't create anything else, and it is a bit of a nightmare. So anyway, thank you for that, Ginny. And I could just see that Orlando's popped in there with a $5 donation as well. So thank you for that. And the message is, I forgot my usual early bird donation. Oh well, spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando. And let's have a plug in the mug. That's what we always do when Orlando is in the house. Just checking, I have got some water in there. There's a little bit left. And it's not quite as warm as it's been. As you can see, the hoodie's on tonight. So not quite mid-20s temperature, and quite stormy here in the UK. There's a storm close to us, which means it was ridiculously windy the other day, and driving rain as well, and now it's just raining a little bit. But hopefully, the wind's died down now. It's just going to be raining for maybe another day or two. we will see how we get on, but nothing, it's not like a tornado or anything like that, so not too bad. But anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. And Vince has donated $5 and says, Phil, we can't hear you. So this is from the mic issues that we had before, so thank you for that, Vince. Carla popped in with a $1.99 donation, thank you for that. And it says Mo Sound, and thank you for that, I know what you mean. And Kathleen has donated $10 as well, thank you for that, Kathleen. It's a straight up donation. And Lynn has donated $10 as well, thank you for that, Lynn. The message is, we are having to read your lips out here, so thank you for that. And thank you for these messages to let me know that the sound wasn't working, because it means I can then suss it out and hopefully have a half decent live stream for the rest of the time where you can actually hear me. And Maria has donated $2, thank you for that. And the message is, we can't hear you, check your mic. So the mic is fine. It was just, I don't know what it was just a case of rebooting the system. It might have been the way that I started up the software. There's a particular order, or at least I know that there's an order that when I start the software, there's also like a plug-in type software that I use in order to increase the brightness and decrease the saturation of the picture, because this camera is just ridiculously high when it's just normal, so I have to load a plugin. So anyway, I have to go through lots of steps. So I start up the plugins, I then start up the camera, then I start setting up the live streaming software, and then I set up the audio interface, and then the speakers, and then the microphone. So I have to go in a very particular order, and I know that when I do something out of order, that's sometimes what can cause the mic to not pick up or to not register within the software that I'm using. Anyway, long story short, we rebooted and it was fine, and I managed to do that while the video was playing. So all is not lost. Thank you for letting me know, everybody. And PRJ Grudge, is it very small on the screen, but thank you for that. Hopefully I got the username correct there. There's a $25 donation. Thank you so much for that. And Patrick has donated $5. Thank you for that, Patrick. And the message is, Hola Phil, hope you are well. Do you enjoy listening to a cappella music like Pentatonix, home free or voice play? So thank you for that, Patrick. And yes, I do. I mean, I've listened to quite a lot of Pentatonix. I think they have been suggested or requested on my list now and again. And yeah, in terms of listening to a cappella groups, I always find it interesting the way that people have the ability to not only blend their voices and their ranges, but sometimes using the voice as an instrument. And this is something that I certainly do find interesting, but not something that I can do. So that's why I find it interesting. Beatboxing is interesting because people can just come up with their own drum kit and then bass line and layer things on top. Some people can do the two things at once so that you get like a drum kit and a bass line happening at the same time. Peter Hollins, he's another one, throw his name out there, who does a cappella stuff where he's literally singing everything and making the noises of everything that he does. So a similar kind of thing. But yes, I do find that interesting. Not that I have a lot of time to watch videos on YouTube because I'm pretty much always on the go, but yes, in a word, I do find it interesting and do enjoy listening to a cappella groups, but music as well, just people somehow making a full track out of their own voice, I think is amazing. But thank you for that, Patrick. And Mike has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, US fans are mostly roasting in high temperatures. It's cold here in Pittsburgh. So thank you for that, Mike. And I don't know what the temperature's like over in the USA. It's quite a big place, so maybe it varies from one state to the next as to how warm it's getting. But yeah, it was warm, like I said, here, but not too bad at the moment. It's starting to cool down a little bit, and probably the same will be happening next week from what I saw on the forecast. But thank you for that, Mike. And let me just jump into the PayPal donations window because Steve has donated in there £5. Thank you for that, Steve. And let's scroll down because we have a bit of a long message here. And the message is, how do you feel about old school performing with PA snakes? Mic, hum, wires everywhere. Analog soundboards with occasional dirty crackly pots versus wireless technology digital soundboards. I like old school, modern sounds too clean or hollow like a CD versus a vinyl LP. So thank you for that, Steve. And because I spent so long on that previous question, I'll answer this one a little bit more quickly, or I'll attempt to. So in terms of playing live, I started out going analog and had my guitar leads, and I used to always buy, I think it was like a 36-foot lead, around that kind of area. I had, I think, 3 of those stolen because people saw my lead and thought, oh, that's a nice lead, I'm going to steal that. Another problem with gigging, people nicking your gear. So yeah, I used to have to regularly just buy another 36-foot lead because it allowed me to walk around the stage. But anyway, because those started getting stolen, I then moved over to wireless, and I played wireless for I don't know how many gigs. I probably gave it a good go, maybe about 6 months worth of gigs, but then I went back to having a lead. So I went back to analog and not digital and wireless. So I think the problem that I had with the wireless system was that I just lost about 10% of my tone. And it was something that, even though I tried other wireless systems, because I know my tone very well, I can tell when it's just ever so slightly not there. So that's what I found with wireless, that it was just losing a little bit, just going wireless. But then as soon as I went back to being connected to my amp, everything was back fine. I was getting 100% of my tone. So I did go in that direction, but then I reverted back to old school. And in terms of using mixing desks, I've only ever used old school mixing desks, just analog. I think that when you plug in and you have your channels and everything at your fingertips, you know, or at least I guess I'm of the generation where I have never had access to a digital mixer for playing live. It was all just your standard analog mixer. So yeah, I never had any exposure to that. Maybe it's something that nowadays people are a lot more used to, but I think probably in the larger venues, they might have made that transition over, but certainly in smaller venues, you'll still find them using the old mixers, and even just having, a 16-channel mixer, maybe even less than that, is absolutely fine for live performances in smaller venues, and that's pretty much what I think you'll find with most original music venues, just having everything that is wired in. And in terms of, talking about wires, leads across the floor, I'm one of these people that I do like things to be neat, but not at the expense of the sound of the gig. So if somebody said, right, to make it all really nice and neat on stage, we're going to go wireless with everybody on stage, I'd say, well, no, I don't want to do that. I'd rather have everything just, in the mics, XLR as well. That's another thing to throw in there, that I'd be connected through the microphones, and I run my mic XLR to my in-ear monitors first, and then out of the in-ear monitors into the desk, so that I've got a direct feed to my in-ear monitors, which are wireless, but that's purely just to hear my own voice. So I don't really care if it's not an amazing quality of voice that I can hear in my ears, because it's not going out to everybody else. It's just for my own reference point. So that's something that, again, all wired. I'm never going wireless where it counts in terms of the sound of the mic coming out of the mic into the mixing desk. That's just all wired. So yeah, I am old school, and yeah, if I was going on tour and playing loads and loads of gigs, I would be old school with that as well. I just set it up how I know, rather than trying. The thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If I was trying to use loads of new technology, I'd have to now spend time learning it, and then if you have a problem, you think, well, what's the problem, rather than just maybe switching out an XLR lead and then just troubleshooting your normal points that you would go through. If you're doing it all new, then it could be a potential nightmare. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. And Just scrolling up because Deborah has donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Deborah. And the message is no audio. So thank you for that, Deborah. And that was from a little while ago. Hopefully we have sorted that now. And Lauren has donated £5 as well and says no audio, Phil. So thank you for that, Lauren, as well. All of these heads up. And Orlando has donated £1 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, you looked like you carried more muscular bulk in that rehearsal video from 2013. Were you doing some serious muscle building then with an arm tensing, I think, and somebody lifting weights? So thank you for that, Orlando. And to my knowledge, no, I pretty much just do exactly the same thing each time. So it tends to go in cycles of 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes 8 to 10 weeks. So what I'll do is I'll work out, just saying on average, 8 weeks. So I'll have a block that I do for 8 weeks of training, and after that 8 weeks, I then usually have a rest of a week, and then I should start another block of 8 weeks, but I never really ever get that far. So pretty much all of my videos, like on the That's Metal video, that rehearsal video, I'm always probably at the tail end of that 8 weeks, and maybe even in the week off. So I've got to my muscle build, or I've done at least eight weeks of muscle building, and then I'm now in kind of that rest phase. And maybe I started a week or 2 weeks. I don't think I've ever done 2 blocks in a row in my life. Oh, actually, I probably did when I was at university, but that was just stupid because I was playing a hell of a lot of sport and working out 3 times a week, and I was 5% body fat. So I was burning, I was playing 2 football matches a week, training football training twice a week, and working out 3 times a week. So I was just doing something every single day in terms of fitness or resistance training. So yeah, apart from back then, pretty much from the age of 23 onwards, I've just taken what I've learned from those times and being a personal trainer when I was like 18 and 19, just taken that knowledge and just applied it to my own body type and what I know works for me. So I just do 8 weeks, get myself to where I'm happy, and then I pretty much just let the wheels fall off the wagon, and then I go through another 8 weeks when I can be bothered. And at the moment, I think I'm 6 or 7 weeks into a block, so probably another, I've kind of lost count, it might be 5 weeks, I can't remember, but I know that in a few weeks, because I can see the development, I can tell in a few weeks I'll probably be back to where I normally am, as long as I'm strict with my diet. That's another thing that sometimes goes off a little bit. Sometimes if I've got a video coming up, for example, the That's Metal video, then I was having protein every 3.5 hours religiously. And when I'm just working out for fun and just keeping myself in shape, sometimes I'll miss a meal or miss a protein shake, and it'll end up that I'm maybe leaving 5 or 6 hours, so my muscle isn't getting the nutrition it requires. So I think it is different maybe on the nutrition side of things, but not with the exercise. And that's probably why, if I've got a video coming up, maybe on that rehearsal video, I was just being very strict with my diet and taking in the protein, and that's the only difference, is just getting that protein in the system every 3.5 hours, between 20 and 30 grams. That's what I usually do, per 3.5 hours. So there might have been more bulk just because of the protein, but certainly working out, I only ever do kind of 8 weeks. So, and at the moment I know that I'm being a little bit off with the protein intake and just being a little bit lazy with that. But this is the other thing that a lot of people, when they do work out, they don't realize how important the diet is. It's 60%, probably actually more than that, diet. So guys that go in the gym and they're lifting weights, if you're hitting the gym and then when you get home you're not having protein, I have it instantly after a workout, well, as soon as I can, then sometimes after you've worked out, you need a little bit of time for your body to get out of that workout kind of state of not really feeling like having any protein or just eating anything. But I have a protein shake with water. By the way, if you have it with water, it gets absorbed a lot more quickly than having it with milk. So you want to have it in with water after you work out. But anyway, if you have it with water straight after you work out, and then 3.5 hours, pretty much every 3.5 hours until you next work out. That's what you want to be doing. And if you're seriously into building muscle, you want to be doing that for the rest of your life. Every 3.5 hours for the rest of your life to maximize your muscle potential, the muscle building that you can achieve with your own body. I think this is the problem, that a lot of people don't realize how important that protein intake is. And they just work out, go home, don't have any protein, and then they work out 3 times a week. And after 8 weeks, they can't see any difference. You need to feed the muscle. Otherwise, it just hasn't got the ability to grow. But anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. And Orlando will know all of this. We've seen him giving us a free ticket to the gun show with his last picture that we showed. But thank you, Orlando, for that donation and the question. I'm just going to scroll up because Karen's donated £3.43 as well. Thank you for this, Karen. And the message is, "Hi, Phil. Jimi Hendrix said, music is a safe kind of high. Thanks for bringing the high in your all-around place of positivity. Cheers, Karen." So thank you for that, Karen. And we are very partial to a Jimi Hendrix quote on this channel. So thank you for that, Karen. And Linda has donated £20.59. Thank you for that, Linda. Very kind donation. And the message is, "Love your analysis." So thank you for that. And I'm glad that you do enjoy them. As long as you guys are enjoying them, I'll keep on making them. And Marge has donated £1.37. Thank you for that. And the message is, "I buy CDs directly from artists through PayPal. It's easy, cheaper, and it's fun collecting the mailing envelopes. They come in, including yours from England," with a smiley face. So thank you for that, Marge. And yes, this is what Marge is referring to there. I package them up myself here in the UK. I try and make the writing on the front of the envelope legible so that it actually gets to its destination. But thank you for this donation, Marge. And also, thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. I can see we're at 222 likes. We're aiming for 295, and it's 20 to 1 in the morning already. I don't know where the time goes, but if you can keep on hitting that thumbs up, if you haven't yet, it'd be much appreciated. Of course, everyone just gets 1 thumbs up each, but we are at 223 so far. So thank you guys so much for doing that. And if you haven't done it yet, now's a great time to do it. But thank you for these donations as well, because Tortora Porco Richard has donated £3 as well. Thank you for this. And the message is, "Here is 4,000 plus Spotify streams." Thank you for that. And yeah, that's entirely accurate. So thank you for that. I'm sure people that aren't into music, or maybe don't know how it works behind the scenes, will be horrified at the fact that you can effectively have sold your song 4,000 times and then you make £3. And this is why with original artists, independent artists, so many just fall by the wayside, because making money from your music, everyone jumps on the bandwagon, no pun intended, but they all jump on the bandwagon of streaming sites and social media sites where they give out their music for free because everyone else is doing it. And they think that, because everyone else is doing it, that must be the right way to do it. And generally, they're looking at the artists that are signed by major labels. They're looking at them, and they haven't got a problem money-wise. They're signed to a major label, and the major label are putting the money into the artist, and then they're wanting to make that money back from the artist. So the artist isn't directly affected. But when you're an independent artist, it is your baby. Your music is your baby. You've got to look after it. You've got to keep control of it. You've got to have your publishing rights as well. As everybody would know, every parent would know, you wouldn't give away your baby, so don't give away your music for free. And I'm saying, don't give away your baby for free, and don't give away your baby for any kind of money. But anyway, thank you, Richard, for that donation. But yeah, just to reiterate that these... if you are in a band yourself, if you've got your own songs, original material, then just look into everything first, and giving away your music for free because everyone else is doing it, it's not the way to go. Just try and see how you can figure it out so that you do make at least a little bit of money for... And when I say a little bit of money, I mean like 79p for a single, or even 7.99 or 5.99 for an album. Have some kind of recuperation for the amount of time that you've put into the album, the amount of work that you've put into it, because nobody makes an album in 2 seconds. It takes a lot of sacrifice of your own time and doing things with your life. They just put blood, sweat and tears into an album, and you should be getting some kind of I don't know what the word is, maybe I'm trying to think of a good word for you getting. It is getting paid for your time, but just recuperation of the time. Maybe that's a word that my brain wouldn't give me a second ago. But yeah, just being able to recoup the amount of time and money that you've put into it yourself, because you can't make an album for free either. You've got to buy the software, you've got to buy the instruments. But anyway, thank you for that, Richard. We won't go over all of that again, but thank you so much for that donation. And Linda Z's in the house and has donated £5. Thank you for that, Linda Z. Message is, why is it that I'm usually in the car running errands at live stream time these days? Pulled over just to say a big hello to you and fellow wingers with a smiley face. So hello, Linda Z, and thank you for that donation. Everyone say a big hello to Linda Z in that live chat room. And I haven't been looking into the live chat room to see who is in there tonight, but we have the moderators in there, of course. I can see Laurie just went through, I believe, and Leon's in there, Neil as well, Carla. Thank you, guys. Huge shout out to the moderators. And I'm not sure if Mario's in the house tonight, but I'll keep a little bit of a lookout for Mario's name in that live chat room, because we always say a big hello to Mario when he's in the house on the Saturday night live streams. So I will keep a lookout for Mario tonight. And thank you, Linda Z, for that donation. And Sue has donated £20. Again, thank you, Sue, for that. It's a very kind donation, and it is a straight up message. Straight up donation without a message. So thank you for that. Let's jump into the cover for tonight, which is going to be my cover of Give Me All Your Lovin'. And I can see Mario in the house there. So everyone say a huge hello to Mario in that live chat room. And we can do that while we do jump into this cover. Thank you for requesting this over on Patreon. And thank you guys for watching the video last night as well, and for requesting that video. But I hope you guys enjoy my version of this ZZ Top classic. And I'll see you guys after. Rock. And there we have it. That was my cover of the ZZ Top Classic. Thank you guys for requesting that one over on Patreon. And also thank you, Mike, for that donation in the super chat window as well. And it was for $5, and it says rest in peace, ZZ bassist Dusty Hill. So thank you for that. And yes, just referring to that video that I did last night, if you guys haven't seen that, check that one out, because I do get into the background as well, and we do take a look at that very song. Well, I say we take a look at it. Unfortunately, the performance that I was looking at last night got blocked on copyright, so this is why. I know that there was one comment saying, oh, I enjoyed the analysis, but why didn't you show the video? And this is sometimes something that happens, is that I do the analysis videos just looking at the performance and stopping it and breaking it down. And that was one of those last night, that I was going through the solo, and I was going through different parts of the video and the vocals and stopping it. And unfortunately, every time that I went back to the video, that would then cause the video to get blocked. So I had to remove all of the copyright material in there, which basically meant any part of the song. So that's why last night's video, I do leave a link in the description below of that video, so you guys can at least watch the performance that I was watching, so then you can go back to that video for the analysis. I had to have that reference point. But just to clear up, that's why sometimes on the videos there isn't any video on there. It's just when there's a copyright block, because I'd rather get the video out there in some way, shape or form than just leave it, especially considering I know that you guys were requesting it, and thank you for doing that over the last couple of days. So I hope you enjoyed my cover of Give Me All Your Lovin'. That is one of those that, as I said in the video, just talking about Dusty's vocal and how easily he just gets up to that high C, the male tenor high C, the C5. And in that cover, I mean, fortunately, when I do the covers, there's an opportunity to warm up my voice and try and get that backing vocal kind of way up there. But he just did it so easily live, and that is definitely something that you will see in that performance that I was referring to last night, that he just seems to flip up almost into his head voice with that C5, but it's such a clean connection with his vocal cords. It just sounds awesome, and you don't question it. He just nails it every single time, and it's just he was just one of those guys that always approached the song first, rather than trying to show off on the bass. And this is something that he said, I read about him saying that he did start working out really complex bass lines, working on his technique, but then he realized that it didn't help the composition, it didn't help the song. So then he worked out what worked best for the composition, and more often than not, it was just something very simple, something that might have a hook in it, but it wasn't really technical. So this is the thing, that he had a lot more in his locker from a technical perspective, but like all great musicians, the great musicians always have all the technique in the world, but they only play as to just embellish the song, the composition, and not to try and take the limelight away from that composition. And Dusty was a great example of one of those guys that just played the bass that the track needed, rather than just trying to show off. And this is why their songs are just so great, and they're so tight live, because of that approach that I think the whole band had, and also the fact that they were all into just old-time blues, and they got together and brought together all of those influences that were quite similar, and just having those two great vocalists in the band just it's a luxury, like I said in my video last night, to have two lead vocals that can just be at the front of the stage, and you're never going to question either of those vocals. But anyway, check out that video last night if you haven't seen that one. But thank you, Mike, for that donation. And we are going to be jumping into the pick roulette for tonight. By the way, we have an Under the Spotlight episode coming out tomorrow night, so make sure that you tune in for that one. And this is why tonight on the live stream, I always try and finish around 10 or 1:15 here in the UK, Greenwich Mean Time, because I start the Under the Spotlight the night before, and then I'll be doing it all day tomorrow, and then hopefully get it uploaded. I always aim for 2 a.m. So yeah, it means that from tonight until 2 a.m. tomorrow, I'll be working on that, because there's lots of graphics in it and all that kind of stuff, and background information on the artist, and I'm breaking down solos in quite a lot of detail, probably a lot more detail than I do just on the standard analysis videos. So make sure you check out that tomorrow night, and that's going to be Robin that we're going to be taking a look at, and you can find him at Shatner's Hairpiece if you want to check out his YouTube channel. But all of the links will be available tomorrow night, so you can check that out. A little bit of an update at the moment for, well, next month. Technically that's tomorrow because it's the first of the month, so it's always the first Sunday of the month that we have an Under the Spotlight episode. So obviously it's happening tomorrow, but in August, where are we now? July, August, September. I think it's probably September that myself and Steve Stevens are aiming for to have his Under the Spotlight out, because I mean, Steve is a really busy guy, as you guys will know. He's touring with Billy Idol, so they're in rehearsals, and yeah, so getting his Under the Spotlight solo down, we're gonna probably aim for September in order to get that one. But yeah, so these Under the Spotlights, keep tuned in. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. You hit that notification bell as well, so that you get notified for the Under the Spotlights as well as the live streams, but just the analysis videos as well, because I would hate for you to miss your favorite guitarist Under the Spotlight, because it's great to have a look at them in such close quarters, and at such close quarters to be able to see their technique up close and under the spotlight. So yeah, just throw that out there, because I did mention Steve over on Patreon probably last month, but yeah, it's just organising, getting the time in order for Steve to be able to do it. But thank you for all of the donations tonight. We are going to be jumping into the pick roulette, and where are we with the likes? 271. So we are looking for 24. Is that correct? I think, yeah, 24 more people coming into the live chat room. If possible, that would be fantastic. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, if you could, it'd be much appreciated in order to hit that likes goal and have the pig roulette next week as well. But let's actually jump into the pictures first. Otherwise, I will forget to do them. So let me just scroll down a little bit. And oh, I just got a notification, something to do with the mouse. And I don't know what that notification was, but in this week's live stream mouse news, the mouse, I haven't charged it again yet. So I checked when I purchased this mouse. I did a post on Patreon to let you guys know that I bought a new mouse, because the other one I had to keep putting batteries in, and yeah, just spending lots of money on batteries. So I got this one, which is rechargeable, and I haven't charged it again yet. It's still got 24% battery left, and I got it in the middle of May. So I don't know how this is. It's obviously alien technology as to why this mouse is lasting almost 2 months without having to be recharged. But I'll have to recharge it at some point, because I don't want to risk it running out on the live stream, because then I won't be able to actually ever end the live stream, because I won't be able to click on anything. But yeah, so that's this week's mouse news. It's still working anyway, which is great. But let's jump into the pictures before I forget. I always try and sidetrack myself so that I do forget, even though I've mentioned not to forget them. So let me try and find the background to begin with. I have to go to a different place in order to find this. I'm going to get the background up on screen, just to hopefully throw you guys off the scent that I haven't actually found where the pictures are. And I'm just playing for time here, but I have found, I think, just 2 pictures tonight. First of all, we've got Vince, who is tucking into his meal here, and racking my memory banks. This was something like a welcome to the jungle. I don't know what it is, but that was the name of the plate, I think. I'm really relying on my memory from about a week ago. So thank you, Vince, for uploading this. Oh, the restaurant was it's either having song names as the names of the meals or something like that. So this was, I think, Welcome to the Jungle, something like that. Anyway, thank you, Vince, anyway, for uploading this picture, even though I can't remember what the meal was called, and also for modeling the Wings of Pegasus cap there. And I believe that's called the dad cap, and I can't remember what the other one is, but it's like a flat cap or something like that, where it's not slightly bent over, but this is the one that I wear, that kind of slightly bent over style, the dad cap. But thank you for this, Vince, and for modeling that for us, as well as showing us your meal that you're about to tuck into. And this is always, it seems to be a theme on the live streams, that people show food, start talking about food, and then I start getting really hungry. But thank you as well to Mimi, who has uploaded this, her Wings of Pegasus signed pic, and the picture there as well of some guy. And just so you guys know, you can only get this Wings of Pegasus signed pic by winning the pic roulette. So Mimi is one of those fortunate winners, and I think this is her grandson who then started adding to the picture in order to make it look a little bit more artistic. So thank you for that, Mimi, for uploading that picture. And congratulations on winning that Wings of Pegasus signed pic. So without further ado, let me try and get everything back and organized so that I'm on screen again. We're going to be jumping into the pic roulette for tonight because we hit the target last week. And we are 8 away from the target tonight, so keep on hitting that thumbs up if you do get a chance. That would be great, in order to have another pic roulette next week and get your names on that wheel in order to possibly win and pick up a Wings of Pegasus pic, get that sent off to you for next week if we hit the target. 5 to go, so let's jump into tonight's pic roulette. Good luck, everybody, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock. So here we have it, the pic roulette wheel. If you haven't seen one of these before, the hearts on the wheel, as you can see, those are the t-shirts. If we land on one of those, then we have another roulette wheel where you guys can win a custom t-shirt, where in fact I have got on one of Carla's t-shirts tonight, and I'll show you guys that afterwards if I remember. But I've just unzipped my top a little bit so you guys will be able to see it even if I forget to show you guys. But anyway, what I always do with this is I shuffle the names 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're nice and random, and I now just put the jinx on a particular person's name by saying I think they're going to win, and I'm going to choose Kathy Lynn to win tonight, even though I've never got this right. So apologies to Kathy for putting that jinx on her. She's probably not going to win, but let's give this wheel a spin and see who's going to win. Is it going to be Kathy Lynn? And it's good because it rhymes with win and spin and Kathy Lynn, but obviously the chances are very slim. So we're just rhyming for some reason tonight. The rhymes are just totally on form. So we're slowing down. Here we go. Jill, Myra, Fred, Laurie, Orlando, Scott. Is it going to get as far as Leanne, Lewis or Louis? Lewis or Louis? I'm going to call Louis B. So congratulations, Louis B. And apologies if it is Lewis with the S. But Louis B sounds like a little bit more of a cool nickname. So I'm going to say congratulations to Louis B. on the, and again, commiserations and apologies. My top tip obviously fell through, as always. So apologies for that, but thank you everybody for entering, and Louis B, congratulations. If you can let yourself be known in that live chat room, that would be great, so that Carla can organise everything to get that pic sent off to you, the signed Wings of Pegasus pic. So congratulations and commiserations to everybody else. I'm just leaning over in order to pick up a pic. so that you guys can see what it's like. I'm going to get myself up on screen. There we have it. There's the signed pick. It also has the Wings Pegasus logo on the other side. So congratulations, Louis B. That is going to be sent off to you. And by the way, we've just passed the likes for tonight. There, 296. We were aiming for 295, so we have made it. So now, everybody type in the live chat room. Let me give you guys a hint as to what to type in. You type the @ symbol and then Carla, and then you click on Carla's name because Carla Murray will show up. And then we type in I agree and lots of exclamation marks. Not that you have to put lots of those in there. And let me just make sure I was pressing the tab rather than the exclamation mark. So true to form, I messed that up. And the boxes went everywhere. But hopefully you'll be able to see it. And the names are, can you see it there? Oh yeah, Wings of Pegasus is going through there. @ Carla Murray, I agree. That's what you need to type to get your name on the Pick Roulette wheel next week. So do that now in the live chat room because it's a good time to do it now. The only time to do it is now because it's going to be after the Pick Roulette wheel. So make sure that you are typing I agree. If you did it earlier in the live stream, then make sure you do it again now because it won't count if you did it before. There's a very definite window to type I agrees. And look at all of these lovely I agrees going through the window. We have Deborah and Rebecca and Fred, Vince, and everyone going through too quickly. But good, get your names on that wheel. Type I agree now. So it's 1:05 here in the morning. Let's have a little look at where we are with our cartoon for tonight. And I'm going to end the poll and see where we ended up. It looks like it's really close in there. It might have been the Italian that won out in the end. So I'm going to wait for the official result in order for YouTube to tell me because I've just ended the poll. So let's have a little look. We have, yes, the Italian just nipped it above of the library gig. It was 31% the Italian, and there were 4 options. So it was pretty close, and 182 votes tonight. So thank you guys for voting for the cartoon that you want to see. And because I always mess up this real life stories cartoon thing because I didn't label them, I remembered to label them before we went live. So I should be able to, theoretically, fingers crossed, go straight to this Italian real life story. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and this is really your last chance to type in I agree in that live chat room. We've probably got, I think these cartoons are maybe 3 or 4 minutes in length. So you have about 3 or 4 minutes to type that in, and then it's going to be the end of the live stream for tonight. So frantically type away, get your names on there. Oh, by the way, I can just see that Carla is going through. Oh, Laurie is going through. Oh yeah, the t-shirt. I said that, I mentioned it. There we go. Here it is. It's like Superman, but Wings of Pegasus. So this is the bleached t-shirt that Carla makes. So if you want to get your hands on one of these, you can message Carla. You don't have to wait. You can get her email, and maybe Carla can put her email on in the live chat room. It's a really long email address, so I can never remember other than the many moons ago, and that's, or many moons ago in something. Yeah, maybe Carla can put that in the live chat room. If you want to get your hands on a custom Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, such as this model by me tonight, and it is bleached on there, so it's never going to come off, and you can wash it as many times as you like, and it's a custom design. Like I said, you won't find these at Teespring. So message Carla if you want to get your hands on this particular t-shirt. But anyway, thank you. And there was another message I think that went through from Laurie saying that if you're messaging or typing I agree, don't, or try not to put lots of emojis after your post, because YouTube sometimes blocks that or removes it. So make sure that you don't do too many emojis, which are the little pictures, because I think YouTube sees that as spam or something like that. So just make sure you type I agree, and ideally maybe one emoji, or to be super safe, no emojis. So anyway, let's jump into the real life story for tonight. And again, last call for the I agrees in the live chat room, and I will see you guys after this. Rock.
That sounds absolutely excellent. We'll get the next train down and meet you at the Fox.
What the heck was that all about?
That was the excellent Italian drummer we were hoping to hear from. He loves our songs and can't wait to meet. He's really keen. We're going to London tonight to meet at the Intrepid Fox. We'll get the train. He said he definitely wants the drummer position in the band.
Ruddy heck, that is awesome. Finally, someone keen enough to meet and get things rolling.
I am amazed at how empty this carriage is. It must be a lucky day.
Yes, this is very rare. Normally I would not know where to look and have somebody sneezing and coughing in my face.
Not to mention, of course, the regulation bum guff released into the airtight carriage, making breathing impossible. I'm actually really looking forward to tonight. I think this guy could be the guy we need. From what I've heard, he really wants to be in the band.
Well, certainly the example of him drumming that he sent us wasn't entirely retarded. Finally, it seems our luck is changing.
I definitely think this was a fantastic use of my last £15 of the month. I don't mind being skinned if it means we have a decent drummer.
Yes. I'm certain he will appreciate us spending £15 each and taking this 2-hour train journey to meet with him.
Precisely. Imagine if this was all for nothing. Ha ha ha. That would be so funny, I would probably guff my own bum.
Ha ha ha, yes indeed. From what he has said, there is no way this could ever end in a clap to the face.
We must be nearly there, as the people are starting to stare at us less and also the women are becoming more attractive.
Yes, you are correct. Here we are. Remember to try to avoid eye contact with the busker just in case. Here we are. I am so excited. I've been waiting for this day all my life, in a way.
I suggest you keep talk like that to a minimum around here. You sound like a hormone sensual, not a metal rock death voodoo punk of death. Let's go inside. Wowzers. Heck, this place looks a lot more realistic on the outside.
Hey there guys, you are looking for me. I think I want to say, are you Phil?
Yes I am. I recognize that Italian accent. You must be Alessandro.
That is not an Italian accent.
Shut your guff trap, you're breaking the illusion. Right, let's get a proverbial beverage and talk band business.
Sounds good to me.
Well guys, we certainly are having a great luck. And getting on like fantastic chums. I like the vibe we are producing with our verbal interactions.
Can I just say guys, you are amazing. And I would love to join the band. I'm in this for the big time. Whatever it takes.
It's only been 10 minutes, but I think we all want to move in the same direction and get this show on the road.
We've been searching so long, but finally it has paid off. I think there are some great times ahead.
Oh, do shut up. I'm seriously starting to worry about you. Now, let's talk business. Shall we get a rehearsal booked for say 2 weeks' time?
Well, in 2 weeks I'm heading back to Italy. So, that is not too good for me.
Absolutely no problem. When are you back from Italy? We'll organize it for that week.
Yes, the problem is I'm not sure I'm coming back to England.
Ha ha ha. I hope to heck that you are pulling on my proverbials.
No, I'm serious. It is unlikely I'll be coming back.
Heck. Are you actually demented in the head? How the absolute guff are you going to gig with us when you are in a different country?
Oh yes, I can see that will be a problem. I hope I haven't wasted your time.
Oh no, not at all. We love to travel for 2 hours on the train, spending our money on train tickets and a beer for you, just for you to frig us in the guff, right? Well, we are going to leave now for the 2-hour journey back home. I sincerely do hope you get home safely to your flat just around the corner. Come on, let's get the guffing heck out of this vicinity before I lose my temper and tell him to frigging naff off back to Italy.
It's lucky it's all on film, or else nobody would ever believe this actually happened. Unbelievable.
What an absolute waste of time and money. To top it all, I had to spend my last 30 pence at the Paddington toilets. What a rip-off. I can't believe he spun me that guff about wanting to make it big with us. This is the worst day of my life.
And there we have it. Thank you for voting for that real life story of mine. And yeah, there are 4 of those, and I would like to make some more real life stories, because there are more stories, because that's just just 4. That was 1, but there's 3 others, and there's lots of other scenarios that people wouldn't believe across my musical career. But I'm sure lots of people have the same kind of stories, so it's something that a lot of people can relate to. But anyway, thank you for voting for that one. And also to Karen for donating $2 in the super chat window. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil says, hi, here's his donation. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And Phil says, hi, here's his donation. So it sounds like I've donated to myself. So, but thank you for that, Karen. And just to pop into the PayPal donations window as well, because Mario has popped in there with a £150 donation. Thank you so much for that, Mario. A very kind donation. And the message is, hi, Phil. Hi, Wingers. Such sad times when your musical heroes pass away. Rest in peace, Dusty Hill. Absolute legend. Cheers, Mario, with some rock horns. And I think that's like Ace is what it means here in the UK. So thank you for that, Mario. And yeah, just amen to that. I'm sure everyone in the live chat room really does echo those sentiments following the sad news. But thank you, Mario, for that donation. And Patricia has donated £4 as well. Thank you for this, Patricia. And the message is, hi, Phil. This year I've been practicing guitar again after many years of not playing at all. I am very rusty, and I am a short person with little hands, which is frustrating. Any idea how I can make my hands stronger and more flexible? My son says, give up, Mom, and switch to ukulele. So thank you for that, Patricia. And because I've got small hands as well, I've never done anything other than play guitar and try and play different chord shapes. And then I think just playing the guitar a lot improves your flexibility. If you're trying to play chords and play lead lines where you have to stretch, then that's just the best way of doing it, rather than doing lots of stretching exercises. I find that, I mean, personally, I think that if I was to just do stretching exercises the whole time, I mean, I know how far my fingers can stretch because of the physiology and the physical limitations of my hands. And being a personal trainer, I know what joints can do and what they can't do. And I think my hand span is as far as it's going to get, just through years and years and years of practicing playing guitar. And yeah, it's just something that I would suggest that sometimes when you're playing bar chords and you're just trying to stretch the little finger out a little bit, if you can do, that's probably the best way, because your first finger is fixed, so it means that you can't really manipulate that little finger too much. But say adding in a ninth, if you know what that chord looks like with a bar chord, or even if you're not doing bar chords, just placing your first finger on, say for example, the 5th fret of your guitar, and then trying to stretch up just 2 frets with a little finger. If you can make that, then it's not too bad. If you can make that stretch with a little finger, then it means you can play octaves. Sometimes, I mean, if you can stretch that little finger, even higher up and get 3 frets up with that little finger, then that's great. It means that you'll be able to play the minor pentatonic shape, so you have lots of lead possibilities. But it's just a case of just trying to do those stretches, but don't try and overdo it, because the last thing you want to do is have any kind of repetitive strain injury or stretch your finger too much so that it affects your ability to practice in the future. So I'd say don't worry too much about it. As long as you can get your first finger in one fret and your second finger in the next fret, then you're pretty much okay. So just get those 2 fingers on either side of the fret, the silver line, and if you can get your third finger on that same second fret, then that's great. It means you'll be able to play an E chord, and your G chords, again, the chords down at the bottom of the guitar, generally you're only ever going to have your fingers in frets that are only 1 fret apart, so you don't need to stretch too much. You just need to get either side of that silver line, the fret on the guitar. But I'd say, yeah, definitely don't give up. It's just going to be a case, I mean, if you've got really small hands, you can still play 3/4 size guitars. Just get a smaller guitar. That's something that Ed Sheeran does with his little acoustic that he plays. That's a 3/4 size acoustic. So yeah, if other people have done it, then it doesn't affect the sound too much. You can just start playing that, and if it makes it easier for you to play, that's the most important thing. You don't want to be playing guitar or practicing guitar and not enjoying it. You want to be playing a guitar that you enjoy playing. So yeah, I'd say that, yeah, just work at it on a standard size guitar. If you feel like you need to get a 3/4 size guitar, then just go for that. There's nothing wrong with it. But anyway, thank you for that, Patricia. And just quickly before we finish, Orlando has donated $1.49. Thank you for that, Orlando, and has donated again $2. So thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is, sorry for not giving hellos to you all. Take care. So thank you for that. And then Karen donated just $2 saying, I meant Chipper says hi. Cheers, Carrie. So thank you for that, Karen. And thank you. Yeah, I thought, it's a bit strange. Phil donated to himself, but I thought it might be Chipper that donated. So thank Chipper for me. And thank you guys for joining me tonight. We're going to be calling it to an end now. It's 1:20, so I have to scoot and get working on the Under the Spotlight episode for tomorrow night. Get all the prepping done for that, and all of the graphics and all the videos that I need to take from... This is going to be taken from Robin's channel before I get them all edited together tomorrow. So thank you guys for joining me tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow night for Under the Spotlight. Make sure you don't miss that. We'll be live streaming again Tuesday night, and next week there's going to be another pick roulette with your names on it if you typed I agree earlier on. So look out for that. And yeah, just hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday as well, because you get to double your chances of winning when we hit these pick roulette likes goals on Tuesdays as well. So everybody stay safe. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Follow the government's guidelines for the masks, the vaccines, all of that kind of stuff. I hope it's starting to get a little bit more under control wherever you guys are. But I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Under the Spotlight. Looking forward to it. It's going to be another really interesting video, so make sure you guys check that out. But have a fantastic afternoon, morning, evening, whatever the time is where you are, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!